The cargo bay on level 17 smelled like metal and old grease. Dr. Marcus Chun walked between the tall storage containers, checking his data pad for the medical supplies he needed. The Zenith Meridian Station was huge, with thousands of beings from hundreds of different worlds living and working together. Marcus had been here for almost 2 years now, studying how different species' bodies worked. It was fascinating work, even if it meant dealing with the station's less pleasant areas. He found the container he needed and started scanning the boxes inside. Antibiotics, synthetic plasma, radiation filters. All the things the human quarter needed to keep everyone healthy. Marcus was so focused on his list that he did not hear the footsteps behind him until it was too late. "Human," a deep voice said. Marcus turned around slowly. His heart started beating faster, but he kept his face calm. Standing between him and the exit was a rakish warrior. Marcus had seen this species before, though never this close. The alien was tall, maybe 7 feet, with dark red skin that looked like armor. His eyes were completely black, like pools of oil. 2 sharp fangs showed when he spoke. The rakish were known across the galaxy. They were hunters, mercenaries, and sometimes assassins. They had a special ability that made other species afraid of them. They could drink blood and steal memories from their victims. It was how they gathered information, how they hunted, how they killed. "My name is Kyrthai," the rakish said. He moved closer, blocking the light from the doorway. "3 days ago, you were in the Central Market. You saw something. I need to know what you saw." Marcus thought back. 3 days ago, Tuesday by Earth calendar. He had been buying food at the market. Lots of people around, lots of noise. Nothing special that he could remember. "I do not know what you mean," Marcus said honestly. "I buy groceries every week." I did not see anything unusual. Kyrthai's lips pulled back, showing more of his fangs. "A Concord official died that day. Murdered. You walked past the location exactly 4 minutes before it happened. You may have seen the killer and not realized it. I need your memories of that time." Marcus understood now. The rakish wanted to feed on him, to drink his blood and take his memories. It was not personal. It was just business. But that did not make it less dangerous. When a rakish fed, they took a lot of blood. Sometimes the victim died. Even if they survived, the process was supposed to be extremely painful. "I can just tell you what I remember," Marcus offered. "You do not need to feed on me." "Memory is not reliable," Kyrthai said, stepping closer. "Beings forget things. They change details without meaning to. I need the raw memory, untainted by time or emotion. I need to see exactly what you saw, and if I refuse..." The rakish tilted his head. "Then I take it anyway. The Concord laws do not apply in the lower decks. No cameras here. No witnesses. Just you and me." Marcus looked at the alien warrior. Kyrthai was faster, stronger, and had centuries of hunting experience. There was no way Marcus could fight him. He could not run either. The rakish would catch him in seconds. Most people in this situation would beg or cry or try to bargain. Marcus had seen it in medical documentaries about attack victims. Fear was the natural response. But Marcus Chun had spent his entire career studying alien biology. He had dissected specimens from 40 different worlds. He had analyzed blood, tissue, and genetic material from species that most humans never even heard of. He knew things that other people did not know. Important things. Dangerous things. So instead of showing fear, Marcus did something that shocked the rakish warrior. He smiled. Not a cruel smile or a crazy smile. Just a calm, almost sad smile. Like a teacher who knows their student is about to make a big mistake. "Okay," Marcus said quietly. He started rolling up his left sleeve, exposing his wrist. "I will let you feed. I will give you what you want." Kai stopped moving. His black eyes studied Marcus carefully. In all his long life, he had hunted thousands of beings. Fear was universal. Prey always showed fear. They ran, they fought, they begged for mercy. They never volunteered. They never smiled. Why? Kai asked. His voice was suspicious now. Marcus finished rolling up his sleeve. His wrist looked pale and vulnerable in the dim light. Blue veins showed clearly under his skin. Because you are right, Marcus said. I cannot stop you. And you need this information for something important, I can tell. So I will cooperate. But I need to warn you about something first. Just once. Please listen carefully. The Vrakish moved closer, intrigued despite himself. Marcus looked directly into those black eyes. His smile faded. His expression became very serious. Feeding on me is a terrible idea, Marcus said. Human blood is not like other species' blood. Our biology is different. Very different. If you do this, you will regret it. I am not threatening you. I am trying to help you. Please, find another way to get this information. Kai stared at the human. Was this a trick? Some kind of psychological game to make him hesitate. Humans were known for being clever, for using words as weapons. But they were also weak, fragile. Their bodies broke easily. Your warnings mean nothing, Kai said. I have fed on hundreds of species. I know how to handle different biologies. You are stalling. Marcus sighed. He had tried. That was all he could do. He extended his arm toward the Vrakish, wrist up, palm open. An offering. All right, Marcus said softly. But remember, I warned you. Kai grabbed the human's wrist. The skin felt warm, and he could feel the pulse beating underneath. Strong and steady. He pulled Marcus closer and opened his mouth, fangs extending fully. This would only take a few minutes. Then he would have the memories he needed. He bit down, piercing the skin easily. Human blood flowed into his mouth, hot and copper-tasting. Karathy began to drink, his body already processing the blood, preparing to access the memories stored within. Marcus stood very still. His smile was completely gone now. He watched the Vrakish feed on him with the calm, clinical expression of a scientist observing an experiment. An experiment that was about to go very, very wrong. The first 30 seconds felt normal to Kai. Human blood tasted strange, more metallic than most species, but not unpleasant. His body began the absorption process, breaking down the blood and preparing to access the genetic memories it carried. This was a process he had done thousands of times. Easy. Routine. Then something changed. Marcus watched as the Vrakish's eyes widened slightly. Karathy kept drinking, but his grip on Marcus's wrist tightened. Not in aggression. In confusion, the memories were there. Karathy could feel them at the edge of his consciousness. He saw flashes of the market. Crowds of beings moving past. Stalls selling food and tools. But the images were wrong somehow. Fractured. Like looking through broken glass. Normally, memory absorption was clear, like watching a recording. This was chaotic and hard to focus on. But that was not the main problem. Karathy's metabolism was accelerating. The Vrakish body was designed to process foreign blood quickly and efficiently. It was what made his species such effective hunters. But human blood was processing too fast. His heart rate increased. His enhanced senses, normally an advantage, suddenly became overwhelming. He could hear every sound in the cargo bay like thunder. The smell of metal and grease became so strong it made him dizzy. Something was wrong with this blood. Marcus remained standing, though his face was getting paler. He kept his breathing steady and watched Kai with concern. Not fear. Concern. Like a doctor watching a patient with a bad diagnosis. You should stop now, Marcus said quietly. His voice sounded loud in Kyathai's hypersensitive ears. The Vrakish tried to release the human's wrist, but his muscles were not responding correctly. His body was still in feeding mode, still drinking, even though his mind was starting to panic. What was happening? Heat. Kyathai felt heat spreading through his chest. The Vrakish were cold-blooded. They did not generate much body heat. But now he felt like he was burning from the inside. His dark red skin began to flush darker. Almost purple. Marcus counted seconds in his head. 45, 50, 60. That was already too much. The Vrakish had taken almost half a pint of blood. For most species, that would give Kyathai complete access to recent memories. For a human, it was just enough to cause serious problems. Finally, Kyathai's survival instincts overrode his feeding response. He released Marcus's wrist and stumbled backward, gasping. His legs felt weak. The cargo bay seemed to spin around him. Marcus moved quickly, despite his blood loss. He pulled a small medical kit from his jacket pocket and applied a sterile bandage to his wrist. The bite marks were deep, but clean. They would heal. Then he turned his attention to the Vrakish. Kyathai had collapsed against a storage container, breathing hard. His black eyes were unfocused. Sweat, something Vrakish rarely produced, ran down his face. "What did you do to me?" Kyathai managed to say. His voice sounded strained. "I did not do anything," Marcus replied. He knelt down a safe distance from the alien, close enough to observe, but far enough to dodge if Kyathai attacked. "I warned you. You did this to yourself." "Poison," Kyathai hissed. "You poisoned your blood." "No," Marcus shook his head. "My blood is completely natural. That is the problem. Human blood is toxic to most alien species. We evolved on a death world called Earth. Do you know what that means?" Kyathai did not answer. He was too busy trying to control his racing heartbeat. Marcus continued, his voice taking on the patient tone of a professor giving a lecture. "Earth has high gravity, thick atmosphere, dangerous predators. Our bodies had to become very efficient at carrying oxygen to survive. Our blood has much more iron than most species, very high oxygen capacity, very acidic pH. To your biology, it is like drinking battery acid mixed with rocket fuel." The Vrakish tried to stand but failed. His legs would not support him. "But that is not all," Marcus said. "Human blood also carries our immune system. White blood cells. Right now, millions of my white blood cells are in your body. They are treating you like an infection. They are attacking your tissues, trying to destroy what they think is a threat." Kyathai's breathing became more labored. Pain spread through his chest and limbs. This could not be happening. He was a warrior, a hunter. He had survived battles, poison, disease. He could not be brought down by simple blood. "Also," Marcus added, "I take medication. Nothing illegal, just standard human pharmaceuticals for a chronic condition I have. The dosage is safe for humans. But you are not human. Your metabolism is processing those drugs at 10 times the normal rate. They are interacting with your system in ways they were never designed for." Marcus reached into his medical kit again and pulled out a small injector. "Plus I had coffee this morning. 3 cups. Caffeine. It is a stimulant. Very popular among humans. I am guessing your species does not handle stimulants well." Kyathai looked at the injector with suspicion and fear. "What is that?" "Medicine," Marcus said simply. "A broad-spectrum chelating agent. It will bind to the foreign compounds in your blood and help your body eliminate them faster. It will also suppress my white blood cells before they do permanent damage. The shot will not fix everything, but it will stop the worst effects. Why would you help me?" Kyathai asked. Speaking was becoming difficult. "Because I am a doctor," Marcus said. "Helping is what I do. even when the patient threatened to kill me 10 minutes ago." He paused. "But I need something in return." Of course. Nothing was free in the universe. HFY should have known. "What do you want?" the Vrakish asked. "The truth," Marcus said. "You are not just some random hunter looking for information. You care about this case personally. I can tell. So tell me why you are really hunting this killer. Tell me who hired you. Tell me everything. Then I give you the medicine and we both walk away." HFY looked at the human. Marcus's face was pale from blood loss, but his eyes were sharp and intelligent. The human had known exactly what would happen. He had tried to warn HFY, had given him a chance to stop. The human was not cruel. Just practical. The pain in HFY's chest was getting worse. Pride would not save him. Only the truth could do that now. "I was not hired," HFY said through gritted teeth. "I am hunting the trafficking ring that killed that official. They took my children 5 years ago, sold them as slaves. I have been destroying their operation piece by piece. The official was going to expose them, so they killed her." Marcus's expression softened. "I am sorry. That is terrible. Your memory," HFY said. "Did you get it? Do you know who the killer is?" "I got fragments," HFY admitted. "Enough to know you saw someone, but not enough to identify them." Marcus nodded slowly. Then he made a decision that surprised both of them. "I will help you," Marcus said. "But first, let me save your life." He pressed the injector against HFY's neck and activated it. The medicine flowed in and slowly the burning began to fade. Marcus sat on the floor of the cargo bay and waited. The medicine worked fast, but HFY would still need time to recover fully. The Vraksh's breathing slowly returned to normal. The purple flush faded from his skin. His eyes regained their focus. "How do you feel?" Marcus asked after several minutes. "Like I was hit by a cargo hauler," HFY replied. He sat up slowly, testing his limbs. Everything still hurt, but the burning sensation was gone. "That medicine of yours saved my life." "It helped," Marcus corrected. "Your own immune system did most of the work. You are tough. Most species would have died from that much exposure to human blood." HFY looked at the human with new understanding. "You carry that medicine specifically because of how dangerous your blood is." "Yes," Marcus confirmed. "All human doctors on mixed species stations carry it. Accidents happen. Mustn't happen. Medical emergencies. Someone gets hurt, and we have to do emergency treatment. If our blood gets into the wrong species, we need to fix it quickly. Your entire species is toxic," HFY said. It was not an insult, just an observation. Marcus smiled slightly. "We prefer to think of it as biochemically incompatible. But yes, basically. Earth is what xenobiologists call a Class 12 death world. Very few species can survive there naturally. Our evolution made us hardy, but also chemically hostile to most alien life." HFY stood up carefully. His strength was returning. He studied Marcus with the careful attention of a hunter reassessing prey that turned out to be more dangerous than expected. "You said you would help me find the killer," HFY said. "Why?" Marcus stood as well, steadying himself against a storage container. He was still pale from the blood loss, but functional. "Because what happened to your children is wrong," Marcus said simply. "Trafficking is one of the worst crimes in the galaxy. If I can help stop the people doing it, I will." "There's more to it than that," HFY observed. "You are not just being kind. You have another reason." The human nodded. "You are right. I do. 3 days ago in the market, I saw someone. I did not think it was important at the time, but now I remember. There was a person standing near where the official died. They were watching her. I thought they were just another shopper, but something felt wrong. The way they moved. The way they looked at people. Describe them, Kaitha said, his hunter instincts activating. Human appearance, Marcus said. Male, average height, dark hair. Wearing maintenance crew clothing. But here's the thing. I checked the station roster last month for a project I was working on. I have a good memory for faces and names. That man was not on the human crew list. Not on any list I saw. Kairathai's eyes narrowed. A shapeshifter. That is what I think now, Marcus agreed. There are 3 species in this sector that can change their appearance. The Krell, the Morphids, and the Shadini. All 3 have members who work as assassins. The Shadini, Kaithe said with certainty. The trafficking ring uses them frequently. They can hold a human form for days without breaking character. Perfect for hiding on a station full of humans where most predatory species will not go. Because we are toxic, Marcus said, understanding now. Yes, most hunters avoid your kind. Too dangerous to feed on. Too aggressive to attack. Your quarter of the station is like a safe zone for criminals who know this. Kirathai paced slowly, thinking. The Shadini is using the human population as a shield. Hiding among your people, knowing that even if someone suspects them, most aliens will not enter your territory. Marcus frowned. But you would have. I am motivated, Kaithe said darkly. And now I know better than to underestimate humans. He turned to face Marcus directly. If we work together, we can catch this killer. You have access to the human areas. You know the faces of your crew. You can identify the imposter. And you have combat training and experience hunting dangerous targets, Marcus finished. We complement each other. It is risky, Karthai warned. Shadini assassins are highly trained. When cornered, they are extremely dangerous. You could die. Marcus thought about the 47 humans living on the station. Families, workers, scientists like himself. All of them unknowingly harboring a killer who was using them as cover. I accept the risk, Marcus said. What is your plan? Karathe was quiet for a moment, then spoke. We need to draw the Shadini out. Make them reveal themselves. They are confident right now, thinking they are safe among the humans. We use that confidence against them. How? You create a medical emergency, Kaife explained. Something that requires all human crew to report for examination. A potential outbreak of a human-specific disease. During the examinations, you look for the one who does not belong. The one whose biology is slightly off. Marcus considered this. That could work. I have the authority to order health screenings. But the Shadini will be suspicious. They might run before we can identify them. Then, we make sure they cannot run, Kaithai said. I will position myself at the exits. When you signal me which one is the imposter, I handle the rest. No killing, Marcus said firmly. We need them alive to testify about the trafficking ring. To help you find your children. Tash's expression hardened. The desire for revenge was clear in his eyes. But after a long moment, he nodded. Alive, he agreed. But if they resist, I cannot promise they will be unharmed. Fair enough, Marcus said. He extended his hand in the human gesture of agreement. Karthai looked at the offered hand, then slowly reached out and grasped it. The human's grip was firm, despite the blood loss. They shook once, sealing their alliance. There is one problem, Marcus said. The Shadini know what you look like. If they see a Vrakish warrior near the human quarter, they will definitely run. Tyrathai smiled, showing his fangs. Then I will be somewhere they will not look. Your medical bay has storage closets, yes? Examination rooms with hidden corners? I am very good at being unseen when I want to be. Marcus thought about the layout of his medical facility. Yes, I can make that work. When should we do this? Soon, Karthai said. The Shady will not stay in one place forever. If the trafficking ring suspects their assassin is compromised, they will extract them. We have maybe 2 days before that happens. Tomorrow then, Marcus decided. I will schedule the health screening for tomorrow afternoon. That gives me time to prepare the medical bay and create a convincing cover story for the screening. Karathai nodded his approval. Tomorrow. And human? Yes? Thank you for the warning. And for the medicine. I will not forget this. Marcus smiled tiredly. Just help me catch this killer. That will be thanks enough. The two of them left the cargo bay together, an unlikely partnership between a human doctor and a Vrakish warrior. Neither of them knew that the next 24 hours would test them both in ways they could not imagine. The medical bay was busy the next afternoon. Marcus had sent out a station-wide message to all human crew members about a mandatory health screening. He explained that a cargo shipment from Earth might have been contaminated with a fungal spore that only affected humans. It was a believable lie. These kinds of scares happened occasionally on space stations. 47 humans lived and worked on the Zenith Meridian. By 2 in the afternoon, 46 of them had checked in for screening. Marcus examined each one carefully. Blood pressure, temperature, basic blood test, visual inspection. He was looking for small things. Signs that someone was not quite human. Slightly wrong body temperature. Odd chemical markers in the blood. Reflexes that were too fast or too slow. So far, everyone checked out as completely human. KY. Ratai waited in the storage closet next to examination room 3. He had been there for 2 hours without moving. Patience was a hunter's most important skill. Through a small gap in the door, he could see into the main medical bay. He watched Marcus work with quiet efficiency, never showing stress or suspicion. The last crew member arrived 15 minutes late. His name was David Richardson, according to the station records. He worked in environmental systems maintenance. Dark hair, average height, maybe 30 years old by human standards. He looked completely normal. Sorry I'm late, Doc, Richardson said as he entered. Had an emergency repair in Sector 9. Cooling system malfunction. No problem, Marcus said with a friendly smile. Have a seat. This will only take a few minutes. Marcus went through the same examination he had done 46 times already. But this time, he paid extra attention to details. He took Richardson's temperature with an old-style mercury thermometer instead of the digital scanner. Mercury did not lie. The temperature read 96.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Normal human temperature was 98.6. Close, but not quite right. Marcus kept his expression neutral. Have you been feeling cold lately? A little, Richardson said. But I work near the cooling systems. It is always cold down there. That makes sense, Marcus agreed. He prepared a blood sample kit. I need to take a small blood sample. Just a finger prick. Is that okay? Richardson hesitated for just a fraction of a second. Then he smiled. Sure, no problem. Marcus pressed the small needle against Richardson's finger and collected a few drops of blood. He placed it under a microscope and pretended to examine it. What he actually did was run it through a chemical analyzer designed to detect non-human proteins. The machine beeped quietly. The results showed trace amounts of Shadini, genetic markers. Marcus had found the imposter. He kept looking through the microscope, buying time to think. He needed to signal Kailai without alerting the Shadini. They had discussed this. If Marcus found the target, he would mention a specific medication name. That would be the signal. Everything looks good, Marcus said, standing up. I do not see any fungal contamination, but I want you to take some preventative medication just to be safe. Let me get you some tetracycline 7 from the storage room. There was no such medication as tetracycline 7. It was the signal dot in the storage closet. Kai-Fi heard the code word. He tensed, ready to move. Marcus walked toward the storage closet, keeping his movements casual. Richardson sat on the examination table, looking relaxed. But Marcus noticed the man's eyes tracking his movement with predatory focus. Marcus opened the storage closet door. Before Richardson could react, Kyrthai exploded from hiding. The Vrakish moved with incredible speed, crossing the medical bay in 2 powerful strides. Richardson tried to run, but Kyrthai caught him by the arm. The disguise shattered instantly. Richardson's body rippled and changed, his human form melting away to reveal the Shadini underneath. The alien was tall and thin, with gray skin and multiple joints in its arms and legs. Its face was smooth with large, dark eyes. Trapped, the Shadini hissed and accented universal. It twisted impossibly fast, breaking Kyrthai's grip and pulling a small weapon from its clothing. Kyrthai dodged the first shot. The energy blast scorched the wall behind him. The Vrakish grabbed a medical tray and threw it like a discus. The tray hit the Shadini's weapon arm, knocking the gun away. Marcus dove for cover behind an examination table. This was not his area of expertise. Fighting was Kyrthai's job. The 2 aliens fought with brutal efficiency. The Shadini was fast and flexible, able to contort its body in ways that made it hard to grab. But Kyrthai was stronger and more experienced. He took hits that would have broken a human's bones and kept fighting. The Shadini realized it could not win this fight. Its hand moved to a device on its belt. A dead man's switch. Stop! It shouted. One more step, and I trigger a cascade failure in the human quarter's life support. 47 humans will suffocate in 3 minutes. Kyrthai froze. Marcus stood up slowly from behind the examination table. You are bluffing, Kyrthai said. Am I? The Shadini's thumb hovered over the button. The trafficking ring pays me well to clean up loose ends. They also pay me to have escape plans. This is my escape plan. Let me go, or the humans die. Marcus looked at the device. It was definitely real. He could see the wireless transmitter blinking, already connected to the station's environmental control system. The Shadini had planned this carefully. Let it go, Marcus said quietly to Kyrthai. No, Kyrthai growled. We need this one. For information. For my children. Not at the cost of 47 innocent lives, Marcus said firmly. He looked at the Shadini. You win. Go. The Shadini smiled, a disturbing expression on its alien face. Smart human. It began backing toward the door, thumb still on the trigger. Do not follow me. I will detonate this anyway if I see pursuit. Kyrthai's hands clenched into fists, but he did not move. The Shadini reached the door. It was interesting meeting you both. Tell your trafficking investigation goodbye. You will never find. Its thumb pressed down on the trigger, but nothing happened. The Shadini looked down at the device in confusion. The lights were flashing error codes. What? It said. Marcus held up his datapad. On the screen was a hacking interface showing the station's environmental system. I reprogrammed the access codes while you were fighting. Your dead man switch is locked out. It cannot send any commands. The Shadini stared at him in shock. Kyrthai did not waste the opportunity. He lunged forward and struck the Shadini hard across the head. The alien collapsed, unconscious. Kyrthai stood over the unconscious assassin, breathing hard. Then he looked at Marcus with something like respect. You are a healer, Kyrthai said. Where did you learn to hack security systems? I did not, Marcus admitted. I locked us out of the environmental controls 5 minutes ago from my pad, before you even came out of hiding. I gambled that the Shadini's device would not work without proper access codes. I could not actually reprogram anything that fast. You bluffed, Kyrthai said, almost laughing. A healer who knows how to bluff like a warrior. I just did what made sense, Marcus said. He moved to the Shadini and checked its vital signs. Still alive. We need to secure it before it wakes up. And I need to restore the environmental controls before someone notices. Kirthi found restraints designed for dangerous patients and bound the Shadini carefully. Marcus worked on his datapad, restoring normal access to life support. We did it, Kaithai said. We caught the assassin. Now what? Marcus asked. Now we make it talk, Kaithai said grimly. It knows where the trafficking ring operates. It knows where they keep their prisoners. Marcus looked at the unconscious alien. And if it does not talk? It will, Kaithai promised. I can be very persuasive when my children's lives are at stake. Station security arrived 30 minutes later. Marcus had called them as soon as the Shadini was secured. The security chief, a four-armed Quellan named Vex, listened to their story with growing concern. A Shani assassin hiding among the humans for 3 weeks, Vex said, looking at the restrained prisoner. This is a serious breach. The Concord will want to investigate. The assassin has information about a trafficking ring, Kaithai said. Information I need. Vex's four eyes focused on the Vrakish. You have no authority here, Hunter. This prisoner will be processed according to Concord law, which will take months, Kaithai growled. My children do not have months. Marcus stepped between them. What if the prisoner cooperates? Gives information voluntarily? That would speed up the process, right? Vex considered this. If the prisoner provides valuable intelligence about criminal operations, yes, that could expedite things. But I will not allow torture or coercion. Understood, Marcus said. He looked at the Shadini, who was now awake and watching them all carefully. Let me try talking to it first. Marcus pulled up a chair and sat in front of the prisoner. He kept his voice calm and reasonable, the same tone he used with frightened patients. You are facing serious charges, Marcus said. Murder of a Concord official. Attempted murder of station residents. Working with a trafficking organization. The evidence is solid. You will spend the rest of your life in prison. The Shadini said nothing, but its large eyes tracked Marcus's every movement. However, Marcus continued, there is one way to reduce your sentence. Cooperation. Tell us about the trafficking ring. Tell us where they operate. Give us names and locations. The Concord offers reduced sentences for valuable information. I talk, I die, the Shadini said in its hissing voice. The ring does not forgive traitors. You do not talk. You spend forever in a Concord maximum security prison, Marcus counted. Those facilities are specifically designed to hold shapeshifters. You will never escape. Never be free. Is your loyalty to the trafficking ring worth that? The Shadini was silent for a long moment. Then it looked at Kaithai. You are hunting the ring because they took someone from you. My children, Kaithai confirmed. 2 offspring. Taken 5 years ago from a colony world. I do not know anything about children from 5 years ago, the Shadini said. I am new to this operation. Only 6 months working for them. Kirthi's hopes fell, but he kept his expression neutral. Then tell me what you do know. Any information helps. The Shadini looked between Marcus, Kirthi, and Vex. Finally, it made a decision. The ring operates from 3 locations, the Shadini said. Mobile stations that move every 2 months. I only know the current location of one. A converted cargo hauler called the Prosperity. It orbits an uncharted gas giant in the Kelver sector. Vex immediately began recording the information on a datapad. What do they keep on the Prosperity? Cathay asked, his voice tight with controlled emotion. Merchandise, the Shadini said bluntly. Beings they have captured. Waiting to be sold. I do not know specifics. I am an assassin, not a trafficker. I clean up problems for them. That is all. How many beings on the ship? Marcus asked. 30, maybe 40 prisoners. 10 guards. The ship's captain and crew make another dozen. Kirathai's hands clenched. 40 prisoners. His children might be among them. Or they might have been sold years ago. But this was the best lead he had gotten in a long time. I need to go there, Kaithad said to Vex. Now, before they move the ship. Absolutely not, Vex said firmly. This information goes to Concord Special Operations. They will handle the raid. It is their jurisdiction. They will take weeks to organize, Kaithai protested. The ship will be gone by then. That is not my problem, Vex said. I will not authorize a private military operation in Concord space. Marcus saw Kirathai's frustration. The Vrakish had been hunting this ring for 5 years. He was so close. To be stopped by bureaucracy now would be devastating. What if someone just happened to go to the Kelver sector for unrelated reasons? Marcus asked carefully. Say, a medical research expedition? Those do not require special authorization. Vex's eyes narrowed. What are you suggesting, Dr. Chan? I am suggesting that my research on cross-species biology would benefit from samples collected near gas giants. The unique radiation environment produces interesting mutations. Completely legitimate scientific reason to visit that sector. And if this researcher happened to have a security escort, Kaive added, for protection against pirates and other dangers? Vex looked at them both. A small smile appeared on McQuellan's face. I cannot stop legitimate scientific research. And I suppose Dr. Chan would need protection in that dangerous sector. The smile faded. But if you engage in illegal activities, I will deny all knowledge of this conversation. Understood, Marcus said. And you owe me a very detailed report on gas giant radiation effects on cellular biology when you return. Vex added. I can do that, Marcus promised. Vex turned to leave, taking the Shadini prisoner with him. At the door, he paused. The Prosperity will only stay in one place for another 3 days, according to their pattern. After that, tracking them becomes much harder. Good luck with your research, Dr. Chan. After Vex left, Kaithai looked at Marcus in surprise. You would come with me? This will be dangerous. There will be fighting. I am going, Marcus said firmly. You will need medical support if you rescue those prisoners. They will be injured, traumatized, possibly sick. You cannot handle that alone. This is not your fight, Kaithai said. You made it my fight when you walked into my life yesterday, Marcus replied. Besides, I want to see this through. Those prisoners deserve rescue. Your children deserve to be found. I can help with that. Kaithai studied the human for a long moment. Then he placed his hand on Marcus's shoulder, a gesture of respect among his people. You are braver than you look, small human. And you are less scary than you look, big alien, Marcus replied with a smile. They spent the next day preparing. Kaithai arranged for a small, fast ship. Marcus packed medical supplies for 40 potential patients with unknown injuries. They filed the research expedition paperwork, making everything look legitimate. On the 3rd day, they departed the Zenith Meridian Station. Marcus had never been on a combat mission before. He was nervous, but he was also determined. As they traveled through hyperspace toward the Kelver sector, Marcus and Kaithai sat in the ship's small common area. They were drinking carefully chosen beverages that would not poison either species. Marcus had synthesized a special Vrakish-safe alcohol for the occasion. I have been thinking, Kaithai said, about what happened in that cargo bay. When I threatened you, you were doing your job, Marcus said. I understand. No, you do not, Kaithai said. In all my centuries of hunting, no prey ever reacted the way you did. No one ever warned me that I was making a mistake. You could have stayed silent, let me suffer, used my weakness to escape. But you gave me medicine. You helped me. Like I said, I am a healer. It is what I do. It is more than that, HFY insisted. You showed me that humans are not just toxic and dangerous. You are also kind, brave, willing to help even those who threaten you. He raised his drink. The galaxy sees humans as scary because of your death world biology. But I think the real reason to fear your species is different. What reason? Marcus asked. Humans are scary because you know exactly how dangerous you are, and you choose to be kind anyway. You could use your toxic blood as a weapon. You could use your strength and stubbornness to conquer. Instead, you heal. You help. You reach out to aliens like me, even when we do not deserve it. HFY smiled, showing his fangs. That kind of strength is more frightening than any poison. Marcus thought about this. Then he raised his own drink. To unlikely partnerships, Marcus said. To humans who smile when they should run, HFY replied. They drank together. Human and Vrakish, as their ship rushed toward the unknown. Somewhere ahead, 40 prisoners waited for rescue. HFY's children might be among them, or they might not. Either way, Marcus and HFY would face whatever came together. The message was already spreading through the galaxy's networks. A story about a human doctor and a Vrakish warrior working together. About how the doctor's weakness became his greatest strength. About how the scariest thing in the universe was not the predator with the sharpest teeth, but the prey who knew exactly how toxic they were and smiled anyway. And across the stars, in dark places where criminals thought themselves safe, beings were learning a new lesson about humans. They were learning to be afraid, not of humanity's weapons or warships or technology, but of their kindness, their determination, their refusal to give up on what was right on because of a single unarmed human doctor could bring down an assassin and forge an alliance with one of the galaxy's most feared predators. What could humanity accomplish when they set their minds to it? The answer, the galaxy was beginning to realize, was both wonderful and terrifying. And somewhere in the Kelver sector, on a ship full of stolen lives, that lesson was about to be taught again.